Sarah Ferguson is back in the headlines, and not for the reasons she would want. Once a familiar face at royal events, once surrounded by luxury, status, and global attention, the former Duchess of York is now at the center of shocking claims that paint a completely different picture. According to recent reports, Sarah Ferguson is struggling financially, keeping out of the public eye and quietly moving from one private residence to another. Not hotels, not royal estates, but the homes of wealthy friends, people who are willing to help but only under one condition: complete privacy. And if that wasn't surprising enough, some of those helping her are said to be men from her past, former lovers she hasn't been publicly linked to in decades. So, how did things get this far? And where exactly is Sarah Ferguson right now? For months, she has almost vanished.
No interviews.
No red carpet appearances. No cheerful media moments that once helped her stay relevant. Instead, there's been silence, followed by whispers, followed by speculation spreading across the media. Reports have placed her in multiple locations, from the luxury lifestyle of United Arab Emirates to the quiet landscapes of Switzerland and even parts of Ireland. But here's the strange part. No one seems to know exactly where she is. Not consistently. Not week to week. One insider described her situation as a secret sofa surfing tour. And no, not the glamorous kind. This isn't about luxury travel or high-profile visits. This is about quietly moving between safe places, staying out of sight, and relying on the loyalty of a very small circle. People who won't talk. People who won't leak. People who understand the importance of discretion. And then comes one of the most unusual details in this entire story: the phones. According to reports, Sarah Ferguson has been using not one, but 3 different mobile phones, rotating between them, keeping communications separate, all because she reportedly fears being tracked. Now, whether that fear is justified or not, it tells you something important. It tells you she's nervous. It tells you she doesn't feel secure. Because this is not how someone behaves when they're comfortable and in control. This is how someone acts when they feel exposed. And then there's the word that really caught attention: disheveled. That's how one source described her recent appearance. Not polished. Not glamorous. Not the carefully styled public figure people we're used to seeing. Instead, reports claim she has stopped maintaining the image she once worked so hard to project. Skipping beauty routines. Letting go of the details that once defined her public presence. Now, this might sound superficial, but in royal circles, appearance is never just appearance. It's a signal. Looking perfect sends one message. Looking like you've given up sends another. And people are noticing. But the biggest question is money. Because behind all of this, behind the silence, the movement, the secrecy, there are claims that Sarah Ferguson is facing serious financial pressure. Sources suggest she has privately asked questions like, "How am I going to get through this?" Think about that for a second. This is someone who was once part of one of the most powerful royal institutions in the world. And now, she's reportedly worried about getting through the present moment. Some reports even joked that she could end up selling designer handbags just to stay afloat. Now, whether that's exaggerated or not, it shows how far the narrative has shifted. Because for years, Sarah Ferguson had a reputation for surviving anything. Back in the 1990s, she faced major scandals, debt problems, tabloid headlines, public embarrassment. And yet she came back. Then came business controversies, and again she found a way back. In 2010, she was caught in a sting operation involving access to Prince Andrew, a moment that could have ended everything. But somehow it didn't.
Books.
Interviews. TV appearances. Charity work. She always found another way to re-enter the spotlight. Another act. Another comeback. But this time feels different. Because this isn't a story about rebuilding. This is a story about retreat. And that brings us to one of the most important parts of this entire situation: her relationship with Prince Andrew. For decades, their bond confused people. They were divorced but inseparable, living separate lives but often under the same roof, facing scandal after scandal but always standing by each other. Sarah Ferguson defended him publicly again and again. And together, they created this image of an unusual but unbreakable connection. But now, insiders are saying that bond may have changed. Not completely broken, but no longer what it once was. And if that's true, it changes everything. Because no matter what happened to her life, Prince Andrew was always her base, her fallback, her constant. So if she's now staying away or even slightly distant, that says a lot. And many believe the turning point was the Jeffrey Epstein scandal. That scandal didn't just affect Prince Andrew, it destroyed his public image. His 2019 interview with BBC Newsnight made things even worse. After that, everything changed. He lost his royal duties. His titles were stripped. His reputation permanently damaged. And while Sarah Ferguson wasn't directly involved, being close to him meant she couldn't escape the fallout. Some reports even claim she now feels completely cut off from the royal family. Like there's no way back. Like the doors have finally closed. And then comes the most dramatic twist in this entire story, who she turned to for help. One name being mentioned is Count Gatto della Gherardesca, an Italian aristocrat she was once linked to after her divorce. According to claims, she may have stayed at a private, castle-like property connected to him. Then there's Paddy McNally, a businessman she dated before marrying into the royal family. Reports suggest she may have stayed at one of his properties as well.
Think about that.
A woman who was once inside the monarchy, now relying on relationships from decades ago. Not royal support, not institutional protection, but personal connections, old loyalty, old history, and in a strange way, it actually fits her story. Because Sarah Ferguson has never truly relied on the system. She relied on people, on charm, on relationships. And now, those relationships might be the only thing keeping her steady. So what happens next? Is this just a temporary escape from the spotlight? A quiet phase before another comeback? Or is this something bigger? Something more final? A sign that the world she spent decades orbiting has finally moved on without her? With Sarah Ferguson, you can never be completely sure. Because she's surprised people before. Returned when everyone thought she was finished. But this time feels different. More isolated. More uncertain. And far less glamorous than anything we've seen before. So now I want to hear from you. Do you think Sarah Ferguson is being pushed out by the royal world? Or is this simply the result of years of controversy finally catching up with her? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. And if you want more deep dive stories like this, real drama, real detail, no filter, make sure you subscribe and stay tuned. Because this story might not be over yet.